This is a Tap Gaming production.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Tap Gaming Podcast. This is episode 16. I'm one of your hosts, Tim. Today I'm joined by Al.
Ciao, mi chiamo Alfredo.
And the ghost of the internet, Chris.
Hello.
And today this is our post E3 2014 extravaganza. We're going to kind of phone this one in.
Post E3!
We're a little late to the party with our post E3 episode, but yeah, we're gonna run down what we saw at the show. Online. None of us were there actually, but we're gonna run down what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like. We'll briefly go over the predictions we made and see if any of them were even remotely close.
That I'm most curious about.
And yeah, so that's what this episode is gonna be all about. So we'll do some quick house cleaning and start off the show like we start every show, with what we've been playing. Chris, we'll start with you this week.
I finished up the Force Unleashed 2. I started playing Call of Duty 3.
Like Call of Duty...
Like 3. Yeah, not
World at
Warfare
War?
3, like 3.
Right? Isn't that World at War?
No, this is Call of Duty 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's pretty
that's
old.
random.
Yeah, it
It was
is.
Treyarch's first Call of Duty.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, I'm just trying to... Well, I'm aiming at my backlog because I think it's going to be kind of a down year for games. So.
Until the fall, at least, yeah. So that's all you've been playing, is just Call of Duty 3?
Pretty much.
Right on. I was going to ask you real quick, Gamefly is doing a sale right now. Arkham Origins on 360 is $12.99. Is that worth springing for?
Yeah, get it.
Alright. If it's still available, I'll buy it. What have you been playing?
Played 2048, finally got the 2048 tile. Yeah. Kiss my ass, 2048. I'm probably going to delete it now.
It's exciting.
Yeah, my high score is like 22,000. Beyond that, though, I randomly just got into the feeling of playing Sleeping Dogs, and I enjoyed it. I think I kind of enjoyed it a little bit more than Watch Dogs, as crazy as that sounds.
I don't think it sounds crazy. Sleeping Dogs is a fantastic game.
Yeah. I've only been playing it for like an hour and a half or so, and
It's longer than you played Watch Dogs for.
yeah, I know. And enjoy the running aspects to it. The fighting is solid and enjoyable, and I like the fact that you can kind of customize more so your character, unlike with Watch Dogs where you basically customize his coat and handkerchief or whatever the hell you want to call it.
It's a scarf.
Scarf. I have a different jacket now. It's red, but it's the same style.
Love my Argyle jacket.
Didn't know we were in like the desert somewhere, but anywho.
Chicago's cold, man. You gotta have a warm jacket.
I guess so. Doesn't seem cold there, but at least in the game. But anywho, I've enjoyed my time with Sleeping Dogs. So
All 90 minutes of it.
all 90 minutes. Well, there's some DLC, right? That's kind of crazy. There's a lot
of DLC for it.
Isn't there one that does like Enter the Dragon, kind of like a kung fu like?
Yeah, there's a tournament once. I have it on the PS3. I forgot the name of it, but
Have you played that at all or no?
I want to say I started it, but I'll have to go back and revisit that game again. I really miss it. I thought it was a fantastic game. In fact, it has, the city, like Hong Kong looks awesome. I think the graphics were awesome. I think the fighting system was incredible.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I've enjoyed the fighting. I like the environmental aspects of, being able to take someone and just like, throw them into a wall, or, if there's like a window or anything like that, you can throw them into the window.
Put their head through an AC unit and watch their head get cut off.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me. That was a little Mortal Kombat-ish.
The game is pretty graphic.
Yeah. But all in all, yeah, I've enjoyed myself with that game.
Excellent. Before I get into what I've been playing, I just want to draw attention to our table prop real quick. It's
Fantastic. That's what it is.
It is fantastic, but it's also it's a nod to the World Cup. So
I like that. Clever.
so
Brazil.
I didn't have anything World Cup oriented without throwing out like an old ass World Cup game. So I was like, yeah, I'll do Max Payne 3. It's the next best thing.
The best thing about this is it's the best prop for World Cup, but also the worst prop for World Cup in the sense that it just brings about the terrible things in Brazil in terms of crime and narcotics.
Yeah, well, the World Cup hasn't gone without some type of event. Like I saw something where like rabid like Chilean fans like stormed like a media center and started like breaking shit.
Holy crap!
Fucking psychos.
Yep, those Chileans.
Yeah, they're a fucking rare bunch. But yeah, this week I've been playing more Forza 5. Last week during E3 they released the Nürburgring track, so I was trying to check that out. They beautifully crafted track, so I was pretty impressed. Played some more Watch Dogs. I started to play Dust, Elysian Tale on 360, and I'm enjoying my time with it so far. It's a pretty fun game. I was checking out your stats on the leaderboard. It was pretty insane.
For
Dust.
what stats?
Like your completion and like amount of enemies killed and your combo. Like you have like
Oh yeah,
the longest chain combo was like over 1,000.
Yeah, it's not that hard, but
No, I know. Like I know there's a few sequences where I know I could get it.
yeah.
Which is like not a big deal. I mean, I didn't sleep.
And then I started playing Dark Souls, and I fucking hate that game. Sorry to one.
I'm surprised you gave that series another chance.
Well, it was free. It was the first free game of the month for
Right.
Xbox Live, so I was like, fuck it, I'll try it.
Wow.
And yeah, I absolutely fucking despise that
Even
game.
though it was free, I'm still surprised.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. There's one particular person who's gonna hear me say that and get upset, but
I know exactly
I don't
who.
care. The game is fucking terrible.
Punishing, to say the least.
Well, if you make one mistake, it doesn't let up. So it's really early on. It's maybe 45 minutes into the game. I was like, I'm still getting fairly acquainted with the controls because everything keeps changing. I think everything keeps changing, but like I was crushing pots or something with my sword, and I like nicked this guy, and this guy he just keeps killing me. Every time I respawn, he kills me. Every time I respawn, he kills me.
That
Or he
sucks.
chases me into an area where I just get like gangbanged by ghosts, and I'm just like, I'm fucking sick of this.
It's like Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I just hate it. But it's just like,
Wake up, repeat,
the
dead.
thing is, if you get killed, you think it'd be like, okay, it's done. No, you wake up and this guy's just like right on your shit again.
So, I haven't actually. I don't think I played Dark Souls. I played Demon Souls. So in this one,
Suck.
when you die, do you have to like recollect your stuff, or is that
Only
gone?
the souls. You don't lose any of your equipment or anything like that. But yeah, speaking of that, like this was prior to me nicking this fucking jerk off who just keeps killing me. I was like running down like the side of a mountain, and it looked like a goddamn tree ended up being a fucking dragon,
What the fuck?
and just like spewed this like purple vomit on me and just killed me. Like
Puff the Magic Dragon.
I fucking despise that game. Whoever made that game is the biggest asshole on the planet.
They're a sadist, that's what they are.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing this week. For what we've been watching, I'm just gonna go quick. I finished up Sherlock, season 3. I watched the movie Her. It's pretty good if you get a chance to watch it.
Interesting.
47 Ronin I watched, which I surprisingly thought was pretty good.
I'm a ninja.
Not ninja.
Samurai.
Samurai.
Whatever.
Ronin, technically. But then obviously 24. And yesterday, Al and I watched 22 Jump Street.
Yes, that we did.
Al already forgot that. I was like, that did happen.
Well, I can. Yeah, it was okay.
I found it amusing.
Yeah, I mean, would I watch it again? I don't know. but I enjoyed it.
I wouldn't watch it in the theaters, but I would definitely watch it again. I thought it was amusing.
Part of me still kind of liked the first one, but...
So, you watch anything else other than that?
Well, I guess technically speaking, we did watch Edge of Tomorrow. Right? That wasn't... We didn't put that in the last podcast.
I thought we did. Maybe not. I don't remember.
So let's just say Edge of Tomorrow again, if there wasn't... if we didn't say it the first time. But, Edge of Tomorrow, that was really... I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was really good. So I totally recommend it. If you don't have a chance to see it in theater, see it on Redbox or Netflix or whatever. But I personally think that I think Tom Cruise is kind of having a comeback here. You know, Ghost Protocol was really good. Edge of Tomorrow was really good. You know, I think he's having a little bit of a resurgence. Hopefully, I mean, I know he had Lines for Lamb, Knight's Tale. He had some stinkers there, but that was a few years back.
Knight's Tale.
Was it Night and Day?
Night and Day. Sorry, no, I'm sorry. Night and Day. I knew it was Night something. Sorry, Night and Day. But I enjoyed that. Obviously, watched 24. Thought that was very good. I'm not going to spoil it for you, Chris. And then, yeah, obviously saw 21 or 22 Jump Street. So 22 Jump Street was good. I mean, when I watched it again, there were certain characters that I really liked. Other characters, you know, they kind of say the same thing over and over again and just kind of got stale after a while. But there were some humorous moments in it. I really like Channing Tatum in that. He was really funny in it. So.
Indeed. Chris, did you watch anything?
I'm a week behind on 24. I watched the latest episode of *Halt and Catch Fire*. Still not sure what to think of that show. It's the flow of the story is weird at times. And this latest episode had some, I guess, shocking moments or unexpected moments.
They're on episode 3 now?
Yeah.
How long do you think you'll give it until you drop it?
I'll try to give it whatever the duration of the season is. I mean, we'll see.
Probably 12 episodes.
Yeah. Other than that, I watched A Company Man, the Korean movie.
Oh, on Netflix?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was okay. I mean, it has some, I guess, surprising twists.
Ooh,
But,
what a twist.
Yeah, it was been on my queue for 2 years.
But I guess the main character had he had a dream, and when he says what that dream actually was, it's really? It's well, why did you want to be this? I don't know. It was just okay. Try watching it, see what you think.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a watch. One thing I forgot to say, I did watch the first half of Mad Men season 7.
Ooh, and?
It's good. They finally made Don Draper not a piece of shit, so...
You think do you think it's already past one of your other favorite shows, Nip Tuck, in terms of...
No, in terms of characterization and, the thing about Nip Tuck that they never really did between... They made small allusions to other characters from previous seasons, but with Mad Men, it's been this one continuous, journey for all characters involved. So in terms of I think EMC does the best serialized dramas on television, but this season, the first the thing that sucks is they're not doing new episodes till 2015 now because they wanted to make room for Turn and *Halt and Catch Fire* to kind of get some establish some cachet with their audience, but yeah, it was only the first half was only 7 episodes, but I liked it.
Remember when FX was the top king? They had The Shield, they had Nip Tuck, they had Rescue Me, they had
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, and
Justified.
and now it's like they're still good, but it's like completely changed with AMC. So it's kind of funny how things that was only in a span of like less than a decade, maybe, that things kind of quickly changed. It was really Breaking Bad that kind of.
No, I think if there was any show, like, I think The Walking Dead kind of put AMC on the map. Like Breaking Bad came out before Walking Dead, but in terms of like making that a popular destination for people to watch cable television, Walking Dead is certainly was responsible for it. So I think people would watch Walking Dead and they'd be like, oh shit, like they'd see a commercial for Breaking Bad, be like, oh, I'll check that out, it's on AMC.
Yeah.
I think Walking Dead is single-handedly responsible for any type of popularity for AMC.
Just as I think like Game of Thrones owes a lot to The Sopranos for being where they are right now in terms of, paid TV.
Well, HBO has always had really quality, like exclusive programming. The Sopranos being, obviously, they're probably the most popular show, but they had a lot of other stuff that was super, super popular prior to Game of Thrones coming on the scene.
Oh, no, exactly. But I mean, like, I read an article where, like, Game of Thrones is now the most highly watched HBO show in history.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I don't think there's... When the new season came out, it crashed, like, the HBO Go app. Like, people, went to HBO Go to watch it, and it just totally wrecked it.
Yeah.
So, but... Alright, we're going to move on to our post-E3 discussion. Yeah, this is going to be everything this week. We didn't really prepare any news stuff to talk about. But, so, I guess, Chris, we'll start with you. What did you see at E3 that got you excited, or what were the highlights for you?
The highlights.
How about this? We'll make it easier. We'll do
one game per person.
Well, no, I'm not gonna do one game. We'll do by company. So we'll do Nintendo first, then we'll do Microsoft, then we'll do Sony, and then we can do third party if we want, time permitting.
Okay.
So we'll start with Nintendo. What did Nintendo show that got you excited, or?
Well, I was happy to see Legend of Zelda, and I think it was kind of like a gameplay video. I don't know if it was more of a trailer, but I was happy to see the game finally there. I'm disappointed, however, that it's coming out in 2015 and not the end of this year. It kind of makes me wonder, like, what's Nintendo doing? Because I don't feel like they have anything strong, like, in their lineup for the end of the year.
Smash Brothers.
Is that strong enough to drive? Well, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else from Nintendo that had you excited?
What do you want me to talk about? Hyrule Warriors?
If you want. They showed quite a bit of footage of that, so I'm assuming that's something that...
I'll say I was surprised that they're integrating as much Zelda elements as they are, because it looks like... Well, sorry, I should take a step back. The Dynasty Warriors games, traditionally, like, they take a character, give them a weapon, and, like, that's basically what they revolve around. So I kind of expected, like, in the Zelda game, like, you'd have a character that uses bombs or uses the boomerang or a bow and arrow, whatever. But instead, like, you can actually have one character that can use multiple items that, like, you normally would if you were playing a regular Zelda game. So that was interesting. I didn't really expect them to do something like that. But, I mean, that game alone isn't enough for me to buy that system, so...
Yeah, I don't think it's... I don't think that's going to be their system seller.
Seller!
If Mario Kart 8 can sell Wii U's, they're gonna be in trouble if Smash Brothers doesn't really, take off and start moving some hardware, because they thought that Mario Kart 8 was going to be like, okay, this is finally the game that people are going to throw down and buy a Wii U, and this is like, wasn't the case. They might have sold a couple 100,000 units worldwide, but it's still like that system's still sitting at a fairly low install base for how long it's been out. It's been out for almost 2 years now. Came out in
Wow.
2012.
I can't believe it's been 2 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, came out in November 2012.
It's freaking wild.
It's sitting at just over 6 million units. So that's pretty. It's pretty bad.
Hmm.
But anything else from Nintendo that struck a chord with you?
Maybe you got to see the, what is it, Xenoblade Chronicles X or something,
Mm-hmm.
sort of. I mean, it looks interesting, and I'm sure I'll buy it because it's a Japanese RPG. But I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if that's enough for me to get the system. I wonder, like, how long it's gonna take before they put like some bundle together that's good enough. Like, I don't know, if I was really tempted, I might settle for like a bundle with like Mario Kart 8 and Smash Brothers for like $250.
Yeah, I think they need to start getting more aggressive with their software bundles. I think that they had a Mario Kart 8 bundle, but they were selling it for $330. It's like, do you really need to like squeeze that extra $30 out of someone? I think they could have done better with the pricing on that.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I think with Wii U, I think right now I think more so now than ever they have an impressive lineup of titles, but none that really speak to me. I don't think anyone at this table. So we'll have to see what happens. Anything from Nintendo? Was there anything else, Chris, or was that
No, that's all I can think of.
anything from Nintendo that you can talk about?
I mean, there wasn't anything that I would go out and buy the system, but things that piqued my interest just because I thought they were, cool ideas, creative ideas. Splatoon, I thought that was a well thought out game, interesting ideas. I don't know, I wouldn't buy it for 60. I think, if they had that for like 40, I think that would be worth it. That was, it was like a third person shooter, but it was more of like a kind of a kid friendly concept, but still entertaining. Not exactly where you had to kill anybody, it's just that you had to paint an arena with your color. So that's cool. I think that's really ingenious in the fact that the people who aren't good at shooters don't have to worry about just randomly getting a headshot from anybody. They can just go at their own pace and try to help their team out. So,
Well, you do shoot people in that game.
well, you do, but I mean, like the main objective is to try and control.
Well, capture as much territory as possible.
Yeah.
But like, you use the ink to kind of stifle your opponent's progress.
Yeah.
And then you can kill them.
Well, no, I mean, you can kill them, but like one of the developers or whoever that was in that video that I saw said something along those lines of, if you're not good at shooters, which I could probably say I do decent at. I wouldn't be, I'm just talking about the person who doesn't jump in and play shooters a lot. It'd be a nice title for them. All they'd have to do is just shoot at a bunch of walls, but they'd still at least have some fun because they're at least part of the team. So I thought that was kind of cool. I want to say it's called Giant Robot. It was like reminded me of King of the Monsters, where you're just these giant robots that you can customize and you can fight off people with. It does use the gamepad, at least some aspects. It uses the gyrometer. But it was interesting. It was an interesting title. I think that would be something that would be like a download, a cheap download game. I think that would be worth it, not like a full-fledged title. I saw some sort of I forget the name of this one, but it was some sort of thing where there was like a puzzle type of game where they had you basically had a map, like a grid, so to speak, and you had like a main kind of zone, and it was a maze, and these robots would come in, and different types of robots, and they would have to try and get to your zone and like destroy something within the middle portion of the maze. And you had these security cameras that could like shoot lasers at the robots, and you could put those into different spots within the maze. And so you had to be smart about it, and then you could switch between each camera to shoot out the different robots. So that was very much a work in progress, but an interesting puzzle game because you can get other people involved in it. So I do like when Nintendo comes up with ideas that I don't think I would have ever thought of, in the sense of getting people involved, even if they're not playing the game, but getting them involved to have some sort of take some sort of action within it. Kind of get that party atmosphere going. I thought that was clever. So there's just a couple of games. I didn't really see anything on Star Fox. I don't know if you can. That was very rough.
Well, they showed something with Miyamoto kind of screwing around with it, but yeah, I don't care about Star Fox, so I wouldn't really.
I mean, I give them credit for at least throwing out different games and different genres and seeing where it goes. So I give them some kudos in the aspect of the fact that they've been withholding a lot of releases. They haven't released anything besides Mario Kart 8 for quite some time. It seems like it's just been very dry, and at the very least, at least it can build up for those people who already bought a Wii U some sort of I won't say confidence, but just something to look forward to. I mean, at the very least, at least they said, these are the games that we're working on in the future, and hopefully they go through with their plans.
Yeah, that's always been Nintendo's biggest problem, is they take way too damn long to release anything. I don't know, something Nintendo did, kind of piggybacking on what Chris said. I was excited to see the new Zelda in action for what it was worth. An open world Zelda, I think, is a true open world Zelda. I think is going to really, I think that could be something that could stimulate sales. I liked everything they showed for Smash Brothers. I think hands down the coolest thing that Nintendo showed, and it's not necessarily the most original idea, but I think the amiibo stuff, I think, was, for me, I think that's a really cool way to kind of integrate new characters and new stuff and breathe new life into Smash Brothers and some other properties as well. I know they said there's going to be integration within Mario Kart 8 and
Smash Brothers.
Well, I already said Smash Brothers.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Mario Kart 8 and there's one other game they were talking about. It might be some Mario tie-in. Actually, Mario Party 10, I think it's going to have amiibo integration. But yeah, I think with that, being able to customize your characters, change moves, have smarter AI, more couture, a more couture experience for the player, I think it's a really good way to get people excited for Smash Brothers in a different kind of way, instead of just being like, they just keep announcing new characters and it's like, no one really gives a shit because it's a palette swap for another character. It's like, they introduced Pac-Man, I don't give a shit. It's a circle with legs and arms. Yeah. Waka, waka, waka.
Totally forgot this. I didn't know if you were going to say it. Mario Maker. I thought that was a really cool idea.
I was gonna get to that, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's okay. Yeah, so Mario Maker, I thought that was a cool concept. I think it was received. I think people, like the press, at least Games Press, kind of shit on it initially. I thought it was a cool thing to do, to be able to take different Mario levels and remix them and do stuff like that.
Why did they shit on it though? I don't.
People were like, "Oh, now Nintendo's, instead of making a new Mario game, they want you to do it yourself."
Okay.
Which I was just like, well, it's something that I think that just the tool set that they showed off made it look like it's going to be a lot more user friendly than something as intricate as
Little Big Planet.
Yeah, Little Big Planet. I think it's
Daunting.
It's not terribly hard to use, but it's if you really want to make like a creative level, you really have to like kind of dive into the minutia of the level designer, and it's just even using I don't know. I don't really have the patience for it, but yeah, I think that was cool. I don't really care about Xenoblade Chronicles X, but I think it's something that, to offer an experience like that, that's probably gonna be well in excess of 100 hours, like Chronicles was. I think that's something to get people excited for. It's gonna be and then also Bayonetta 2, the announcement for that, where it's gonna include the first Bayonetta on the same disc. I think it's cool to get kind of people who are playing the game for the first time, they'll be able to get caught up with the series and kind of dive into the second one without having to be like, oh, well, I had to have this, I had to have a 360 or PS3 and then buy the game to play it. So I think that was a wise move on their behalf. But yeah, other than that, with Nintendo, I think they had a strong showing. They showed a few other games that I didn't really care for. I didn't give a shit about Captain Toad. I don't care about the new Yoshi game, Woolly World. It's, I don't know. It looks pretty, but other than that, I think it's just, they're, I don't know. It seemed like they were kind of strapped for a new idea. It looks just like Kirby's Epic Yarn. But, yeah, we'll move on to Microsoft now. And Chris, we'll start with you again. Is there anything that, what did Microsoft show that got you most excited from E3?
I didn't actually see everything from them. I saw the new Crackdown, which I'm not sure if it's actually supposed to be Crackdown 3 or if they're rebooting the series.
I think that they're rebooting it.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It just said, like on their website, it just said Crackdown.
Yeah, that looked pretty cool. What else? I saw the Halo Master Chief Collection thing, so they're remastering Halo 2. That's interesting. Yeah, I can't remember anything else.
See, well, I'll rattle off some stuff. Do you see the new gameplay trailer for Sunset Overdrive?
Yes, I forgot that was for 360.
Xbox One.
Sorry. Yes, Xbox One now. Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. I'm definitely excited for that game for the end of the year. That's one of the few that I'm looking forward to.
Right on. I think what else? Fable Legends. Yay, nay. Didn't see anything for it.
Because it's multiplayer only, I'll never even play it.
Yeah, same here. What else did they show?
You show anything on Quantum Break? Anything else or
No,
not?
they didn't show anything new on that. But they said prior to E3 that game wasn't going to be there, so I kind of knew that going in.
Phantom Dust.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I know Phil Spencer kind of had a few mysterious tweets regarding that game prior to E3, but it was cool to see that they're actually going to take another stab at that game.
Is that a reboot or?
I want to say, I don't know if it's a sequel, but originally it was a fighting game on the original Xbox. So it's been a while since they've even thought about that IP. So I'm trying to think of other stuff.
I feel like they threw out some exclusives.
Well, the cool thing, they had footage of Forza Horizon 2. Do anything for you?
That's one of those games I might get to eventually, but I don't know. It's not really. I don't know. It's not really attention grabbing for me, I guess.
New Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare. You watched they had like a 9-minute gameplay presentation of that.
I don't think I saw that. No.
Dead Rising 3 DLC.
I saw something about it being
Super Dead Rising, like it was
Ultra.
like Ultra EX plus Alpha, like it's multiplayer co-op DLC. It's like $15. It came out the same day as the show.
No,
I guess if you have Dead Rising, it looks cool if you have people that you can play it with, but I think releasing like 4-player co-op 7 months after the game came out was a little too late.
Yeah.
I'm charging $15 for it, no less.
Yeah. I mean, I remember something about them bringing it to PC, but I'm not sure if we talked about that last podcast.
We touched on it briefly.
Yeah. So that's the last thing I remember about it. So the DLC's new to me.
Yeah. With Microsoft, the big stuff for me was Sunset Overdrive was awesome. Call of Duty, I'm excited for it. They had a really good showing of that. Forza Horizon 2. I guess obviously the obvious stuff. But the one thing that I kind of give Microsoft credit for is that they didn't show anything else. They didn't show anything but games. Like, it was games. One thing that I did find somewhat amusing is that they literally did not say Connect almost at all the entire show. Like, they showed stuff for the new Dance Central, but like that was it. So like, I think they're pretty. Like, I think they understand that they don't need Connect anymore.
But what about Aaron Paul?
Oh yeah, the new Xbox One commercial.
Turned on my Xbox.
Well, I was talking with Al
Son
about
of a
this.
bitch.
Well, I was even talking with you about this, Al. It's like they show off in the new Xbox One commercial with Aaron Paul. They show him using all these features on the Xbox that require an Xbox or they require Connect, and then immediately after, like, he's not on screen anymore. It says Xbox One starting at $399, and they show a Connectless Xbox One. So people, like, obviously the people who know stuff about video games know that what he was using was the Kinect. But like, how many people are going to see that commercial and go into a GameStop or a Walmart?
And then they'll get confused.
Well, probably a Walmart. Like, you go into like a department store, like a Walmart or a Target or a Best Buy, and be like, I want an Xbox One. I want the one that was on the commercial, the $399 one, and they're going to get home and they're going to start screaming at their fucking Xbox to do something, and it's not going to do it.
You lied, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, so I think, honestly, like, that was like, Microsoft did a lot of good at E3, but in the wake of E3, like, that commercial kind of came out, and I was like, this is you did a really bad thing with that, because you just confused a shitload of people who, you know, obviously for the people in the know, like, they know that he was using Kinect, but people who don't know that are going to go buy this box, hook it up to their TV, and they're going to start talking to it, and it's not going to do anything.
Sending hate letters to Aaron Paul.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, yeah, Microsoft, I don't know. I think they had the best show overall. Trying to think of other stuff. There was a Ori and the Blind Forest was like an indie game they showed off that I thought was really cool. The guys who made Limbo, they showed off their new game called Inside, which looked pretty cool. And then obviously there's a bunch of like multi-platform stuff that they got shown off, like the Assassin's Creed Unity demo got showed off the press conference for Microsoft, and it looks pretty cool.
Unity.
But yeah. Other than that, Al, what were your highlights of Microsoft's conference /E3?
Basically everything that you touched on. I love Sunset Overdrive. I love the Halo, the Master Chief kind of collection there.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I mean the graphics, seeing the difference is pretty incredible, and I definitely liked. I mean, you know how they're redoing some, obviously not all, the levels, the multiplayer levels. I know you and I talked on this before. It is not all the levels; it is just some of the levels.
Yeah, they're doing 6, I think.
To redo every single level in every single game would be completely absurd.
Well, the levels, like, they already had them redone. Like, I think they're going to remain intact, like, from... It's only for Anniversary 2, like Halo Anniversary 2. Or Halo 2 Anniversary, whatever. Yeah, I think that's what they kind of focused on more so than anything, but the game is going to be pretty feature-laden, so I'm excited for that. It's probably my most anticipated Xbox One game.
It's pretty incredible how they are able to, and I don't know, maybe you can touch on this, Chris, how they're able to have multiple series of games using different multiplayer maps from each series of games. So you could be on a map from Halo 2 and then be on a map from, I guess, Halo Reach or Halo 4? Or
Yeah, it's just the Master Chief games, so...
Oh, I'm sorry, not Reach, but Halo 2, 3...
Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, it is? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So I don't know why I was thinking just 2 through 4, but yeah, your thoughts on how is that pretty crazy for them to, like, in terms of just the technical know-how to be able to do that?
I'm thinking if they're using the same, I'm not exactly sure what engine Halo uses, but if they're using this same type of engine, then I would think you'd be able to take whatever levels that you have from like 1, 2, or 3 and be able to import them into any of them.
Into any like playmaking match.
Yeah. The only thing you'd have to change, I'm thinking, are the textures, especially if you're remastering it.
Mm-hmm.
So that would mainly be like an artist's job. But I am assuming that all that stuff kind of just works. I don't know if they had to do anything crazy.
Well, I think the thing that would be important for us to kind of touch on is that 343 made Halo Anniversary. They're making Halo 2 Anniversary. They made Halo 4. The only thing they didn't do was Halo 3. So in terms of, I think, implementing that type of like feature, I don't think it's going to be very difficult for them.
It definitely makes me like, I don't play multiplayer games really that much anymore, but something about it, just when I heard it, just like kickstarted like my college days when I played Halo 2, and I'll at least play a decent amount online now, like just knowing like when that comes out. So that did kind of like bring me back to like a really great time of gaming. I played so many hours in college of Halo 2. It was just absurd. And knowing that you can switch between Halo 1 maps, Halo 2 maps, and some other maps, is really an awesome feature that I like.
100 maps in total. So you're going to be able to make some pretty killer playlists when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Sunset Overdrive has me pumped just because I feel like it's just going to be a lot of fun. I feel like you could just jump into it, do a bunch of tricks and, shoot a bunch of different types of weapons in it, and just have fun with it overall. So that's what I really got from that game. And just the map itself, like the things that you can do, like the fact of how you can slide on different objects, and they had the part where you could slide on the roller coaster there. That was awesome. And you could slide on some sort of metal rail, and then you were fighting like a float, like a giant kind of float. That was really awesome. But I think they had the strongest showing out of anybody. They said, we do have exclusives. Here's Crackdown. Boom, there you go. Here's Sunset Overdrive. Boom, there you go. Obviously, like with any other company, they take something old, they kind of re-envision it or make an HD collection, and that's what they did with Halo. But I think, like, in comparison to those other companies that do something like that, I really, really think they put a great deal of fan service in there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So that can be really appreciative of them to do something like that.
Yeah, I guess, and to kind of transition with that, we'll move into Sony. The one thing that I was really disappointed with when it came to Sony's conference and just their overall showing at E3 is that none of their exclusives they had any gameplay footage for. So they came out and announced some pretty like heavy hitting stuff, but the only exclusive that they showed,
1886 or not?
Yeah, the Order 1886 had some gameplay footage spliced in with like pre-rendered stuff, but I guess I'll start off with what I liked from Sony. I like the fact, but Uncharted 4, I think it was important that they announced that. But once again, it was just a CG trailer.
Yeah, that kind of disappointed me. Yeah.
Bloodborne, same thing. That got a lot of fanfare at the show, but once again, it was just a CG trailer. I know some gameplay footage of that leaked. It got taken down, but I don't know. The game did nothing for me. It's from the same people who made Dark Souls and Demon Souls.
So go fuck yourself. At least that's what Tim's thinking.
Yeah. So I don't have no interest in that whatsoever. What else? Let's see. They're getting Grand Theft Auto 5 first, but that's also coming to Xbox One and PC, which I think is a huge announcement. We all knew it was coming, but just seeing even the comparisons graphically between the current gen or last gen and current gen, I think it's very impressive what they were able to make that. They were able to take a very pretty game and make it prettier. So I'm excited. I will definitely be replaying that. What else? I didn't really care for what they showed for Drive Club. I was like, whatever.
Now, is that... I know you talked about this before, but is this first person still, you think? Or do you think they're going to have third person?
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't really pay too much attention to the Sony stuff. I heard the Vita was non-existent at their entire conference. They announced Little Big Planet 3. Don't care. One thing that I forgot to mention that I liked from Microsoft's conference was the Rise of the Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider that's coming out next year. But as far as what Sony showed, I think they really dropped the ball. They were like talking about like entertainment apps. They were talking about all this other crap that I don't think people really care about anymore. It's like, oh, we're adding YouTube to PlayStation 4. It's like, sweet.
We had this before, but
It's like, good job, guys.
jackasses.
But yeah, I didn't really care for most of Sony's conference. Yeah, I don't know. I think Microsoft did such a good job of showcasing what they have coming out. I know at the Sony show they showed more Arkham Knight stuff. They showed more gameplay footage and whatnot. So I feel like they showed a lot more of multi-platform stuff. Microsoft had a fair amount of it too. But yeah, overall I was more impressed with Microsoft's outing. Sony, I think getting Uncharted 4 out of the bag and naming it and whatnot was important. But
Now, is Tomb Raider... there's no exclusive content or exclusive release with Xbox One, right? It's just...
no,
they just showed it just to show it?
Yeah, Microsoft probably paid more money just to have it be at their show.
Gotcha.
But yeah, anything from Sony, Chris, that you cared about?
Yeah, Uncharted 4, the trailer was cool. I mean, I would have liked to have seen gameplay, but I also know, I think they were busy working on something else, so, yeah, I guess it was naive of me to think that I'd actually see it. But yeah, definitely something to look forward to next year. Did they have a trailer for Doom? Was that with Sony, or?
I want to say it was.
I don't know.
That also could have been. Yeah, I honestly, I only caught bits and pieces of the Sony press conference. I had to kind of piece it together because I missed it while it was running. So.
Yeah, the Doom trailer looked kind of interesting. What else was there? Was it 1886?
Yeah, the order.
Yeah. I saw the gameplay trailer for that. That looks like it could be pretty cool. So.
Yeah, the game's finally starting to come together. I wasn't too when they showed it a couple months back, I wasn't too impressed with it. It looked pretty rough, but
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else.
what about you?
I just downplay the PS4 E3. I mean, there wasn't really anything that stood out for me. I was pretty disappointed that they didn't. Be perfectly honest, I was really disappointed they didn't show anything on Uncharted 4. Maybe that's just my own opinion, but I'd like to hope that you could just show us a little bit of gameplay, just something that you have been working on, because it's been, quite some time. So at least just showing, some jungle, him walking in a jungle, taking out a guy, maybe him jumping in a vehicle. I mean, something to whet the appetite, seeing us almost a CGI-esque or, basically a CGI-esque cutscene with some overlapping narrative. That doesn't do it for me anymore, especially with that series. I kind of expect, that was expected. Something like that type of announcement was expected in 2. I could maybe take it in 3, but at this point, I think they really needed to show something, you know, about the game to really just drive home the fact that, you know, this could be very well a system seller. And I just didn't get that. So for me, I was pretty disappointed. I don't see myself getting a PS4 anytime soon. Just flat out, you know, most of the games that are coming out are third party anyway, and the first parties that I see coming out shortly are very, very enticing for Microsoft in comparison to PS4. So,
indeedy. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I don't think we really need to kind of touch on any of the third party stuff. I know EA, Ubisoft, and I think Activision had conferences, but
well, I mean,
most of the stuff kind of got regurgitated with Microsoft, Sony's. So
I did like a little bit more of the Division. I kind of liked the Rainbow Six. That had a decent showing.
The Siege stuff.
You know, it's kind of cool. So, were you surprised to see that they had any gameplay of it, or did you like it? Did you not?
Rainbow Six or Division?
The Rainbow Six. I mean, Division, obviously, we've already seen a decent amount on. But
I was kind of pissed that they shit canned the whole Patriots thing.
Yeah.
So I thought that would have been a much more promising title, but I read something today that said that like they shit canned it because they thought it was too last gen in terms of scope, and I was like, I don't know. The game looked pretty ambitious to me, so I think it would have been fine.
Although I do give Ubisoft credit that they, when they have something in development and they look at it and they're like, this isn't going to work, it seems to have fared better.
No,
you know?
Also one thing that I kind of glossed over was the stuff they showed for Far Cry 4. I thought was fantastic. I thought the cutscene they showed I thought was awesome. I'm excited to see Troy Baker playing a villain again.
Very eccentric one at that.
Yeah, but he sells it. Like that's the thing about Ubisoft is like they get a lot of heat for trying to do things differently, but like they have probably one of the most diverse development houses in the world. So like, and a lot of people are like, oh, this guy's, you know, he's racist, or he's, I don't know, however they people want to perceive their characters. Like, it's not like a studio of like 200 white males like making like these like demonic characters. So I don't know. I thought that was exciting, but I guess at this point we'll just transition into some of the predictions we made. I'm gonna kind of rattle off the ones that I made, and yeah, I didn't do so hot.
So you're sorry for him, pal. Just kidding.
So my first prediction was that Microsoft and Sony were going to announce price drops on both the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. That did not happen.
Surprising. That's very surprising.
I said Sony was going to show The Last Guardian and set a release date for both the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. That did not happen.
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
I said there was going to be an extensive demo of Metal Gear Solid 5 and a release date. I know they showed a new trailer for Metal Gear Solid 5 during the Sony press conference. I don't believe they set a release date.
Did that entice you at all, or no?
I don't care about that series anymore.
Okay.
Whatsoever. Like I thought the trailer was cool, and you know, I think, you know, cinematically the game looks, you know, it looks like it's obviously gonna have, you know, the highest production value. You know, Kojima kind of gets a blank check when he wants to make a Metal Gear game. So I think it's going to be a fine game. I have no interest in it. My fourth prediction was Microsoft is going to show off Halo Anniversary 2, which I got right.
Ding, 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 ding.
And it's going to come this fall, which I got right.
Ding, 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 ding.
But my one flaw in my prediction was it was also going to come to Xbox 360. So I got the Xbox 360 and Xbox One. So I got about 75% of that prediction right. And then my last one was Nintendo was going to announce a price drop on the Wii U or offer a gamepadless Wii U for $200. And that was very wrong. So, yeah.
Good for you.
Al's predictions.
Oh, jeez.
Gameplay of Project Morpheus. I think they showed something at Sony's conference, but
50%.
I'll give you half a point.
Ding.
Xbox One ends up having a game that wins Best of Show. You don't get shit for that.
Nah.
An indie game steals a show as a dark horse. You don't get shit for that.
Nah.
Rockstar announced a new franchise. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
And the new Uncharted will have a ho-hum, underwhelming appearance. So, seeing how that's subjective, you get no points for that. So, coming in with 7.75 points, I win this year's predictions.
Well, what about Chris?
Well, Chris didn't write his down. He probably doesn't remember any of
So
them.
it doesn't count, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember your predictions?
I remember a few of them.
All right, round them off.
Definitely an Uncharted one.
Yeah, Uncharted 4 was one of them, but I'm pretty sure I said with gameplay and a release date. And, I mean, the release date's next year.
I'll give you 0.33. So you still have a chance to be
I never even said a trailer, though. I said like, gameplay and, like, a release date, so I don't know.
You said it was going to get announced with those addendums. So you get 0.33.
Alright. What else did I say? The Zelda with gameplay, which is sort of right. I don't know
I would
if I
say-
said release date with that too.
I don't know if you said release date. We have to go back and reference it, but I'll say for now. I would say until it transitioned into him getting chased by like that horse or whatever the hell that thing was. I would say it looked
Well,
like
he was on a horse.
Well, he was getting chased by
like
like
a big.
yeah, sorry, he was
thing.
on. I'm assuming it was some iteration of Epona, and then. All right, so even if I give you half a point, you win.
Boo.
So I might as well just. So I don't know. Do you remember any of the other ones?
I know one of them was for Sunset Overdrive new gameplay trailer.
Jesus. At this point, you're just steamrolling.
Riding high.
No, I think I do remember the other two. One was totally wrong. Was like Red Dead Redemption 2. I should have like tried something like Dante's Inferno 2. Like, what's Sony Santa Monica doing? But that anyway.
You mean what, like God of War, or
Yeah, didn't they do? Wait. What one did
That was
Dante's Inferno?
Visceral.
Oh, really? Oh, sorry. Got that wrong.
Visceral did show off Star Wars Battlefront.
They had gameplay footage?
I don't think they had gameplay footage, but they were showing like conceptual stuff for it.
Oh, yeah. That was the.
That's not Star Wars. Is it Battlefront? Yeah.
Yeah.
My last one was the same as your last one, the Wii U price drop, but I changed it so it was like bundled with Zelda, and that's not even right anyway.
No. So with 1.83 points, you're this year's victor. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up the show. Actually, it went a lot longer than I thought it was gonna go. But yeah, we want to thank you for watching or listening to the podcast, whatever you're doing. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Subscribe to us on Dailymotion. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Tap Gaming. You can follow me on Twitter at Tim_Utley. You can follow Al on Twitter at AlPocalypseNow. And as always, you can't find Chris anywhere.
Ghost. In a shell.
So once again, we want to thank you for watching the show, and we will see you at some point in the future.
Peace out.